everybody. Hopefully you can see me and hopefully this craft desk will work. Had a few little problems there, but anyway, here I am today. It's lovely to see everybody. I need to put the chat up so that if you are there, then please do let me know who you are, where you're from, and the usual, just so I can find out. And I will try and, as we go through this, keep an eye on the chat. I can't see out my specs, actually. I just need to give them a little wipe. If I can find a tissue. There. Because it does help to be able to see when you're crafting. And I can't see a thing without specs, honestly. But with them, hopefully, we're all right. That's better. I can see better now. So yes, let me know if you're watching, where you are from, and yeah, hopefully some of my regulars are going to pop in, which would be really nice. So I'm going to make a fun fold card today. It's a pop-out strip card. And I first saw this made by the wonderful Sue Campfield in the USA, who had all inch measurements. So I have made centimetre measurements for you. So go and have a look at Sue Campfield if you want to find the inch measurements, and stay with me if you want some centimetre measurements. I'll try and remember to give you both as I go through. So let me first of all pop this back onto the craft desk so you can see what I'm doing today. There we go. Hopefully that's fairly straight, not too bad. Good. So I am using again, as I have been the last couple of weeks, the beautiful Bloom Boutique suite. And it comes with this fabulous Specialty Designer Series paper, which hopefully, there you are, it's glistening on the cellophane outside, but you can see it's got gold accents everywhere. So we've got gold flowers, gold leaves, gold everything. And it's double-sided, of course, so there are some fabulous scenes on the back as well. Images on the back as well. So you've got this all in lovely, the new colours. So we've got hydrangea hue, we've got crisp cantaloupe, we've got peaceful pine, more there. We've got barley blush. What's the other one I've forgotten? Golden glow. Yeah, we've just seen golden glow. I'm sure we've just seen yes, golden glow's there. So all the nice new colours in there, and it's just a beautiful set of papers. I've made a fair bit with it actually, but I've still got a good bit left because it's a nice big pack. So do have a look at that. And I've already cut my bits because there's quite a lot of cutting up to do today. That's my envelope, so I'll just put that aside. I need to stamp that because I haven't done that yet. So to make this card, and you can make along with me if you've got if you're ready and can cut those things, let me know if you are doing, because I can slow down or repeat things. So you first need a piece of base card, and this is the longitudinal, if you like, usual base card. So this is 10.5 centimetres wide, so it's half a sheet of A4 by the length of A4, 29.6 centimetres. If you are working with letter size cardstock in the US, you still use the length, which is 11 inches by 4.25 inches. So we're going to deal with this piece first. And oops, I've got my trimmer stuck under my computer. That wasn't very good. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some scoring. So we're going to score it at 7.4 centimetres. So you do need to look at the little tiny marks at the top of your trimmer there. So 7.4, that's the one little mark just before the half centimetre mark there. And we're scoring, so make sure cutting blade's well out of the way. And we're just going to give it a good score with the scoring blade. So 7.4 centimetres. 14.8, so that's two little marks before the number 15. If you're wanting inches, it is 2 3/4, 5 1/4, and the final one is 8 1/4, or for centimetres, it is 22.2. So that is two little marks past the 22. And be fairly careful about the measuring here because we want to get this absolutely even. So we've got 4 equal-sized panels. And you'll see I've got a slight mark on mine because I found a little red spider mite on it. And of course, when I tried to get rid of it, I managed to ruin it, but never mind. So we're going to cover that up anyway, so it's not a problem. So I'll make that the inside actually because it will cover better. So we're going to do a mountain fold. So when you're folding, just make sure that the edges of your cardstock are absolutely even either side before you do the squishy fold and run the bone folder over it. So we know that's exactly even. So the first one is a mountain. The second one, we're going to make a valley. So we're doing it that way. And again, we're going to make sure the edges of that are exactly even. and give that a good fold, good squish. So we've got a mountain valley, and this final one is another mountain. So again, I'm going to make sure my edges line up carefully, and we're going to give that a good squish as well. And that is our base card, okay? And you're going to see both sides of it. So we are going to be decorating both sides of this card, but it will fold flat for posting. So no problem with that. So that is our base card. I'm just going to put that to one side, because now we need the center pop out piece, the bit that's going to pop out and make this card the fun fold. And this piece is 4 centimeters by 16.8 centimeters, or 1.5 inches by 6.5 inches if you're working with letter-sized cardstock. So with this piece, we're going to score it. I'm going to start off scoring it at 1 centimetre. So the easy way to do that is to pop it so that you're using the marks on the right-hand side of your score of your trimmer. Put it to the 1 centimetre, good score. Then, because that's our first one, I'm going to turn it round, and the next one is going to be at 5 centimetres. So pop it against the 5 and then give it a score. 11.8, so that's 2 little marks before the 12. And finally 15.8. Now for this one, obviously we need to open it up. The 16, so 16 centimeters, is actually in the hinge here. So 15.8 is these 2 little marks just before the 16. So it's a little bit awkward, but alternatively, let's make it easier, because if we move this along, we just need to score 1 centimetre on this side. So that's the easy way to do it, and I'm all for the easy way to do it. So 1 centimetre at each end, and then 5 centimetres in from each end. So you could do it that way if you wanted, or at 1 centimetre, 5 centimetres, 11.8 and 15.8. If you're working with the inch size cardstock, oops, just get that down. Then you will need to score it at 1/2 inch, 2 inches, 4.5 inches, and 6 inches. So this piece, this centre bit, is going to actually come outwards. So we want to mount and fold either side of there. So again, making sure to give, what's my bone folder? There we go. Give that a really good burnish, and making sure that these folds, when we fold them over to score them, are absolutely straight by making sure that these 2 edges line up perfectly as we do it. And then these 2 little bits at the end, these just fold in. These bits were going to stick down, so not quite so important. But you still need it straight, but obviously there. So it should look something like that, because that is the pop out we're going to have on the card. Okay, so those are the main bits we need. You need all sorts of other bits to decorate it, and that is then your choice. You don't need to worry about who's what, where, and what's going on. I haven't seen anybody in the chat, which is a little bit sad. I'm hoping that there are people out there, and I'm hoping that we have got something that's working properly. I do hope so. Anyway, let me know if you are on, so I know if it is working. So to decorate this card, I'll show you, put it there in a minute, but you need all 8 panels. So I've chosen to use 6 of the panels for DSP. So I cut myself 6 pieces of DSP, 4 of one type and 2 of another. And I'm using a layer because I'm starting on basic white. I want a bit more colour on my project, so I'm using a card layer. If you wanted, you could just make everything one layer, in which case these pieces are 7 centimetres by 10 centimetres. For letter cardstock, 2.5 inches by 4. And you could just use the single layer if you wanted and cut that from DSP. If you want to make it a layer with 2 pieces, so a piece of card and DSP like I'm doing, then these pieces of DSP are just 0.5 centimetre smaller each way, so 6.5 centimetres by 9.5 centimetres. And I've cut, as I said, 6 of those. Then I want 2 more pieces of exactly the same size as the first pieces, 7 by 10. Inch measurements for the DSP on the layer are 2.25 by 3.75. So these pieces are 7 by 10 centimetres, or 2.5 by 4 inches. And these I'm going to put on the back of my card. One I've just embossed because I don't want more space to write. And I've got one panel where I can actually write my message and do some stamping on there. So I'm going to start off by doing that. I'll talk about the other bit in a minute, but these are the main panels. So for this panel, I'm just going to put Happy Birthday on it, which I have here, and I'm going to be stamping it in smoky slate. because black is a little bit, because I'm using quite subtle, I'm using barely blush as my coloured cardstock, and that's really quite fine. I don't want to, oh, lovely, you can see me, Arturai. Thank you very much. That's perfect. I needed to know that. So it is working. That's all I need to know. Thank you so much. So I'm going to use Smoky Slate because it's just not quite as stark against my other quite soft colours. So I'm just going to stamp Happy Birthday on here. And then I can obviously write something underneath, and I am going to decorate it a bit more as well in a bit. So that is my Happy Birthday. And the sets I'm using, I forgot to show you those. I've shown you the DSP, but these are the sets that belong in the suite, and I'm using both of them. This is the Boutique Blossom stamp set, which has all of these beautiful stamps with their infill colours, so the 2-stamp technique in the Inkstinctive type stamps, leaf, another flower, a set of leaves, buds, and this little sort of, I don't know what it is really, just sort of explosive, just nice little sort of dots for behind. It's quite nice. And we do have all of the dies to match all of those, plus there's some extra dies which cut out shaped pieces. So you actually get the leaves are cut out there from that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. But they also cut out the outlines of the stamps that I've just shown you. So, excuse me. It really is a gorgeous set, and I'm going to show you that. I've done a fair bit of the stamping to start off with, because otherwise you'd just be sitting watching me stamp, which isn't great. Then the other set that is part of the suite is the Scalloped Blooms bundle, and that has these wonderful sentiments, which hopefully you can read on there. I'm not going to read them all out, but they're really gorgeous. And then you have to match this set of Scalloped Bloom dies, and these are huge. Let me actually show you those, because they're much bigger than they appear on the picture there. This is the size of them. They're enormous. So this big one is actually wider than our normal cardstock, so you can make shaped cards out of that, which I am going to be doing in a future video. And we have these various different pieces that we can cut out to stamp sentiments in. You've got this piece, which I think is for sort of flowers and odd leaves if you wanted. I haven't quite worked out what that's for. This little one, which I'm using today, flower centers, and a little tag one as well. So there's a lovely range of dies in this. Particularly excited about the scallops, because if you can see, some of them are smooth and then every other has a detailed edge, which is rather nice. So I have already done some of the cutting out again, because I said I probably need to save a little bit of time here. Let me just pop that away before I lean in it. I'll do something stupid. So let us talk about putting this piece on. This is our pop-up piece, and you want to stick this on before we stick any of these on. This, by the way, this was just embossed with one of the Basics 3D embossing folders, because it's got a flower which is slightly similar to the one in the set, but similar enough for me. And these, I need to spend some time just actually gluing all of these together. I suppose I could have done this before, but never mind. I shall get on and do that now. So I want one of those on each of those panels. Isn't Hydrangea Hue gorgeous? I have to say, it's just a lovely, lovely colour. I think it could be my favourite blue. I've still got Barmy Blue, which is my current favourite blue, but I am really, really loving Hydrangea Hue. Let's separate some of my layers here. So these, as I said, are just a little bit smaller, so they're just going to sit on and leave that little border of Barely Blush around the edge. So has anybody else got this suite? Anybody actually made anything with it? I was lucky enough to go to the wonderful coastal crafter, Emma Goddard, and go to her retreat. It was an online retreat, and I had such good fun. She designed some beautiful, beautiful projects, which I will take and adapt and make my own and then show them to you. But obviously I can't share hers. I can't show you what we made, but we made some beautiful cards, and a card in a box, as well as a card and a gift box, a lovely gift box, a framed gift box, which is always nice. And I shall definitely be doing that with some so I've got an idea for what I'm going to make with that. I'll make a similar box to show you how to make a frame box, because then you can make them in any size once you understand how to do these things. I think I have got actually an old video and a blog about how to do that, but I shall make a new one anyway. Well, it's always good to update these things with some new products, because the more times you see products used, I think the more they make sense and the more it gives you ideas. So even if you've seen a framed box made in one particular with one particular set of products, if you see it with another, it can often just stimulate ideas. So yeah, I might well use this again. I can't stop using this gorgeous sweet. It's just so beautiful. You'll see this one, I've chosen a slightly different paper here, but I just wanted lots of flowers on this one. This is a very flowery card, or it will be when it's finished. So I'm putting all of these on here. So I've got 2 of this particular type and 4 of these. So to make up the card, it's really very simple. We're just going to I'm going to actually use some tear and tape rather than glue on here because it'll stick better. So I'm just going to put some tear and tape across these tabs that we folded at the end of this pop-up piece. Put one on each side. There we go. And I'm putting it fairly near the crease rather than near the edge of it. I could put 2 pieces on if I wasn't being so mean or had a little bit more time, but so I'm just going to take the top off this one. Just make sure it's stuck down properly. Then get the top off. There we go. And this is going to go, you want the valley fold in the centre with the 2 mountain folds, and this is going to go in more or less in the centre. You can measure it if you want, just there. So I'm going to put it up against the fold, not over the fold, but just against the fold there, you can see, and stick it down. So that is just stuck down like that. And then the one this side, we do the same thing, and because these are the same width, then I'll show you the easy way to make sure that this is nice and straight. Oh, there we go. Is to keep this card flat, fold that under, keep this flat, and you can stick it in exactly the right place. So that is our pop-up card. And that's what it looks like when you show it like that. There we go. Does Stampin' Up! Make their own glue? No, it doesn't. It sells dimensionals, and I've not seen those anywhere else, although you can get similar things. But I do actually love the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. They are, I've just got a new sheet because I'm about to start one. They are just the right size for so many projects. You see the size of those as that, and there's mini dimensionals as well, which I've nearly finished that sheet, but you can see those. These are smaller. So these are Stampin' Up! Products. The other glue, the glue I'm using now at the moment is this. It's Tombow glue, the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. So Stampin' Up! Do sell it, but you can get this from other retailers as well, as you can get sticky pads from other retailers. But in my experience, they're not as good as Stampin' Up! Ones. And the reason we want to put this together before we stick any of these panels on is because when I stick the panel on, I'm going to cover up this tab here that otherwise you can see. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick all these on now, having put them together. So I'm having my 2 white ones here because I want the bit I'm going to stick on in a minute to show. You'll see what I mean. So I'm going to put these under here. I'm just sliding them on and then making sure that I've got the same border all the way around and it's nice and straight. Stick that down on this side as well. And you've got so many choices with this. You could use DSP as I'm doing in all of these panels. You could do embossed things in all of the panels. You could use scenes in all of the panels. The set I was using last month to make all my cards, the Scenic Coast, I think would look lovely actually. And indeed, I think Sue Stampfield's got one with Scenic Coast, which is rather nice. So just going to do this. So these 4 are going to be on the outside panels here. So this is not directional paper. Obviously, if it's directional paper, make sure it's pointing the right way. This isn't, so I don't need to worry, which is always good, because I'm very good at doing things upside down sometimes. So as you can see, that just gives me that extra little cardstock, just gives me a nice little border around my lovely pieces there. And then these 2 are going to go on this side here and here. That's where I squished my red spider mite. So it's got a little bit, I've managed to rub most of it off, but it's amazing. For such tiny creatures, they produce an awful lot of red. Anyway, it's that time of year and it seems to be all over a lot of my plants. There's been a lot around the house too. Not sure where they come from, but when I've been gardening outside, I'm sure I probably bring them in. Anyway. So there we have those panels, and then my extra 2 panels are going to go on here. So I've got one that I need to write on. Doesn't matter which way round they go, I don't think. I'll just put them this way around, I think. So I'm going to put a fair bit of glue on this piece because it has got this quite deep embossing on it. So I need to make sure there's enough glue to make sure it's sticking. So that's just the size of my, whoops, don't slip, of my main panel. So now it can sit on like that. And that covers up my little splodge from my red spider mite, thank goodness. And then this is my stamped panel where I can also write my greeting. I could put, you know, more sentiments on it or whatever. I am actually going to decorate it slightly, which I'll show you in a minute. There we go. So those are the panels, and that is my pop-out bit. So this is actually, as it will stand, that would be the back of the card. When it folds up to be sent, that bit's covered up, which is why I've put that there, because that will open like a card. But then there's the beauty the other side. So with this piece, you can either stick something on that's so big that it sticks out and covers the side panels, or you can do what I've done, which is just cut some little tiny pieces to go on these side panels using the same DSP as I've used for the main panels there. And I'm going to put this on here like this. Getting glue on my fingers so everything's sticking. Who else is a crafter? I'm always a messy crafter. I'm just, let's be honest, I am just messy. I do get glue everywhere, and I always, once I've finished a project, because it always has glue everywhere. It seems to have some at the bottom here that I missed cleaning the other day. Oh well. And these pieces, by the way, is little tiny piece. The main panel here, the belly panel, is 3.5, and my DSP is 3 centimeters square. In inches, that is around 1¼ inches for the main panel and 1/4 inch for the center panel. So I'm going to decorate these because I'm going to do something slightly different in the middle. And you could, if you wanted, just put a little panel in the middle there. So I've got these pieces here, and I had actually cut a white piece, which I'm going to leave as just a layer because I've actually decided to do something different. I was going to put Happy Birthday on there and stick it here, but actually I've changed my mind. But I'm going to put it on anyway because it'll actually still make a nice base for what I am going to put on there. And these pieces are, I can't actually remember what these pieces are. I'd have to measure them. Hang on. These are 6 centimeters by 3.5 centimeters. So 5.5 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters for the second layer. Excuse me. So that I'm just going to stick here. So as I said, you could just stick a greeting on there and make that the sort of main part of a card, because when it comes out of an envelope, it'll look like that. So you've got this on the front and these on the back, but it opens like this. So I don't really know which is the front and which is the back, to be honest, but they just look nice, whatever. But what I've decided to do is use some of these gorgeous scallops. So you need some odd scrap bits for stamping. And I'm going to just show you the stamps because they're just lovely. So this is the 2-step stamping. So I am going to use Smoky Slate, if I haven't lost it, there it is, as the base for my stamp. I looked at doing this outline in Barely Blush as well as the infill, but you couldn't actually see it. So it just sort of faded into nothing. So I'm using Smoky Slate, and then we're going to infill with this. And the beauty of this is you can see the sort of lines between, so you can look through this stamp. Why have I just stamped that in Smoky Slate? I'm going mad. What a good job I just stopped then before. Let me just clean these stamps while I have this cleaner open. Clean off my birthday stamp too. That was nearly a disaster, wasn't it? We nearly had a Smoky Slate stamp. Smoky Slate flower. That's not good. These are the new ink pads, by the way. They are magnetic, so they stick to each other and stack really nicely, but they pull apart so easily, unlike some of these other ones, which can be a little bit difficult to open sometimes. The only thing I'm finding, and it's particularly with this one, is a little bit blotchy. If I just work out of the, this is where I was doing them before, so this is, it's got a bit stuck to it, but you can see that flower, that is barely blush with the barely blush infill, and you're losing all the detail. But can you see how the infill is just a bit blotchy? And I haven't quite worked out how to do it, and I don't know whether it's just this stamp, because I haven't had the problem, this pad, because I haven't had the problem with any of the other pads, or whether if I tried putting a bit more re-inker on, whether it'll work. I can't say. But you can see through the stamp, mind my head, sorry about that, but I need to look directly over to make sure it's nice and straight, and then we can infill with that colour, which is rather nice. So I thought what I will do, and then I can cut it out with the die that matches, and in best Blue Peter tradition, I've already made some, because I thought you don't want to see me actually cutting out flowers. So I have actually made a whole number of flowers. I've done them in some of the other colours as well, because I may use some of these. I haven't decided yet, otherwise they're there to keep. And I have already cut out one of these scallops with the nice edge, and a white one for the centre. My little, I've got to stamp that, I haven't done that yet. Stamp my greeting, and I've already cut out one of the leaves. You can see what I mean about how it cuts out the detail in the leaves, which is rather nice. So this needs cutting out. Magic. Oh, look, here's one that I've done earlier. So you can see as the ink dries, it isn't quite so blotchy, but yeah, I need to think about that. I might need to talk to Stamping Up about that pad, because it does seem to be just that pad, strangely. Not sure why. So the beauty of these is you can actually, if you just gently just bend and just rub these, it can just give a little bit of shape on this flower, which is rather nice. So this is going to stick on here, and I'm actually going to stick it on at an angle, because I want to stick, I need to stick things together, and I need to do this stamping. So let me just do the stamping before I forget, and then we can lay things out and see what they look like. So I'm just using the smoky slate again. Have a good day. There we go. Of course, if you're not as brave as I was there, you can stamp it and then cut it out, but I'm okay with that. So these are going to go together. So the first thing I'm going to do is just stick this down flat. I think I'm going to have such fun with these scallop dies. I've got so many ideas. So I'm making sure my sort of, what are they, the sort of loopy bits match. So I quite like that look. And this is just going to stick on here. So you see, I don't really need that piece, but I'm sticking it on anyway, because I changed my mind. And I am going to stick this on flat. So I'm going to put my glue on my pop-up bit rather than on the back of here, so that I can make sure I'm not putting it outside the pieces I need to put it on. So there we go. We'll stick that just like that. Try and make sure it's central. The what are they, petals, scallops, whatever they are, the scallops on these are not quite, I'm just trying to make sure that's central, there we go, are not quite even, so they don't match up, in other words. So they don't help you to actually put things straight. So I'm having them all off centre, because I don't want one in the centre and one not, because I couldn't cope. So there we go. So the other thing that you can buy, of course, now, this is new this year, are these shimmer pens, and they are absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer to the centre, so really good shake for the pen. And then just squeeze it a bit if I need, just to get a bit more down, and then I can add it to my flower. And you perhaps can't see the shimmer. I can, but it just adds a little bit of just loveliness to this little flower. There we go. So I don't know if it can just catch the light to see the shimmer there. I'm not sure if it is or not, but it is shimmering, believe me. So I'm just bending that up a little bit, and I'm going to stick that on. Shall I have a dimensional on there? I might just have a dimensional on the back of there. So get my nearly finished sheet of dimensionals. I told you I'd nearly finished the sheet. So I'm just going to stick one here, because I want the leaves to actually blow in the wind, if you like. But I'm leaving a little bit of room around it, because I want to stick my sentiment in there. And I'm going to stick a dimensional on the end of there, but not on this end. because I want that to sit under the flower. So I'm going to just put a little dab of glue on there because I want that to sit under the flower. But that glue will just hold it down. So I'm going to pop it under there and sticking out there. There. So there are my sort of basic bits stuck on there. And then I'm going to stick some flowers. And I was just going to stick a few flowers and put some leaves on. And these leaves are quite big. I could have stuck it under and it'd be sticking out, but I want to, if I can find my scissors, just cut that down. And there's this little branch here cuts off just beautifully to make a separate little branch. And then if I cut that one here, I've got 3 branches now that I can put around my flower. I'm just going to trim that a little bit because it's just got the tiniest of little ends on it, which I don't want. There we go. Now it looks like a very smooth leaf. So I'm going to stick these behind my flower. So this is how I get glue all over my desk, you see, because if I was sensible, like a lot of sensible crafters, I would use a silicone mat under these so that any glue that did seep out doesn't get on my desk. But do you know what? I shall just clean the desk. It's easier. So I'm just putting them on the lower leaves of here. So it gives me a leaf to hold on to, but also it means that the leaves again can sort of flow in the wind. So we're just going to have these dotted around my flower here. Just have it overlapping the sentiment. That would look nice. Can't see the day. Hang on, just move that along a little bit. There we go. And I've got a final one here, which I want to just stick in here. There we go. So I've just got those around there, and then I'll probably stick a few of these on too. That's 2 or 3, we'll see. And I'm going to put some mini dimensionals under them. And I'm just going to use my knuckle in the centre just to shape these. You could use an embossing tool, but I do find a knuckle works perfectly well for these small flowers. If you put it in your palm and then just push your knuckle on top, blunk, there we go. Anne, hello. Nice to see you. First time live, watching from Bangor. Oh, hello, Chris. Oh, yeah, I still have to apologise to your husband. I told Chris about my site, and she spent so long watching my old videos that her husband came and told me off, which I just thought was funny. So I'm just going to sort of pop these around. There we go. I might just pop 2 on here, actually. Have one there and one there, because I still want to see my scallops, and that gives me 3, which is a nice number for here. And then obviously you can put them anywhere you want on this card, because yes, it will have dimension from these sticking up, and I'm going to put some on the back where these fold over just to add a little bit on the back here. Oh, look, I've got a dimensional covering already in my card. Don't want to send that to somebody. So what I'm actually going to do, these are going to show when I close the card, so I'm actually going to put a few little things on there as well, and I am going to also add some gems. If I can find my pokey thing, there we go. So I've already put the glitter in the center of that one, but I'm going to use the little tiny gems. These are beautiful. These are all the in color gems that come with the, I think, do these come with the, I know the butterflies come with the suite. I'm not sure about the gems. They might come separately. I can't remember, I'm sorry, but anyway, they are beautiful. So I'm going to have a few on here just as little extra decoration. So pop that in there. This one in here. Perhaps I should have done more pink ones. I've got these other coloured ones. Or perhaps I should, what about a little cluster of different coloured ones? How would that look, do you think? Do you think that would look nice? What do you think? Somebody tell me whether you think that little cluster of coloured ones might look quite nice. So I've used you see all the colours are in the DSP, of course, so the crisp cantaloupe and hydrangea hue. There isn't actually any hydrangea hue in that spot, so I won't use a hydrangea hue one. But I like hydrangea hue. There's hydrangea hue in Oops, I'm not throwing them off. That's not good. What do you think? Shall I put a little cluster of those on? I might do, or I might make some more of these. Who knows? Might even put another little, you could do anything on here, honestly. Shall I actually put, I know what I have got somewhere. I think they must be in here. I had actually got some spare leaves. And I might just put a little cluster of those with some leaves. So to save me stamping them and cutting them out while we're waiting here. Nope, they're not in there. They're obviously in the other one. But I know I did some extra leaves for another project, and I think they must be in here. Oh, they're not. Where are they then? Where have I put my leaves? Are they in here? Oh, they're in here, look. There we go. I had those from that other project, so I might as well use them. They will obviously keep to use in another project. But I think I might just have a little bit of a leaf and then some flowers around it. So I'm just going to have that in the centre there. And then we'll put a few of these flowers behind them. I'm just going to squish these ones in my palm too to give them a little bit of shape. The colour combination. Thank you, Arter Eye. So we'll definitely have the colour combination. Yeah, why not? So I'm going to have those all on little mini dimensionals. So you can see the beauty of this particular fold, which is not difficult, as you could see. It's a very, very straightforward fold, and it folds flat for posting, which is always good. But you could do anything with it. You can use scenic paper, you can use patterned paper, you could use, well, you can use whatever you want. It's I just love that about this. It's so versatile. And I think on Sue Stampfield's site, you can see plenty of different cards made with this, all in different sort of styles and ways. And then I'm just going to put some centres on those as well, because they look nice. Oh, I haven't got any hydrangea blue dots left. You might have to have a yellow one in. There we go. Golden glow, why not? I didn't do any golden glow flowers. I could have done. So there, whoops, more bits folding off. I might put one both sides. So there is my, or shall I just stick a couple? Could stick a couple on there, but they'd have to be flat because this is folded in. I couldn't put those on dimensionals. Shall I do it? I could do a matching one there, couldn't I? Do you know what? That would look nice. I'm getting carried away now, aren't I? I'll finish this card in a minute and show you. And I haven't done my envelope. I need to do that too. I should have just curled those leaves a little bit. So I've got that pointing that way. So I'll have this one pointing this way. And we'll have 3 more flowers. Why not? I'm going to make this one a mirror image, so I've got to now work out my mirror images. Where's my blue one? Start with that one and get that one right, and then hopefully the others will fall into place. So that one was at the top on that side, and the pink one was below it, sort of there, and this one at the top. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. There, and oh, I've not got no, I need to go and find my other ones of these to finish this off properly, so I've got the right coloured gems. Did I put a green? No, I put a golden glow in there. I'll keep that the same, and then I'll go and find, I've only got the big one, that wouldn't look right. I shall go and find some more, because I do have another pack of those gems, and I've still got those flowers and leaves to put somewhere else. There we go. But there we have it. There is the card, and it folds up like this. So these 2 side panels fold there, and then this bit can be whichever bit you want to show coming out of the envelope. But then when the person opens it up, you can see how it already, as you bend it, this bit pops out, and then you've got the side panels there. So you could have it facing whichever way you wanted on your mantelpiece. But there we go. That is that card. So I hope you like it. I called it a pop-up what have I called it? A pop-up split or pop-up split card or something like that. Pop-out split card, I think I've called it, or something. But anyway, that's it. And I hope you like it. And I hope you have a go at it, because it's just great fun to make, as you can see. And you could do so many different things with it. But I'm really pleased with that one. I know who that's going to go to, actually. So that's okay. Got a birthday card for somebody. I will get another gem to put in there, just to make sure those all match properly. So it comes out whichever way anybody looks at it, it's just a beautiful card. So yeah, thank you for joining me today. You love it. Good art, I hope you're going to have a go at making one. And if anybody does want to make one, if anyone wants a kit to make one, let me know, because I can provide things like that as well, if you're in the UK, but only in the UK. So thank you so much for joining me today. The blog with all the measurements will come out. I will stamp my flower as well before I finish today properly. I will see you again very soon. Thanks for joining me. And check the blog out. It's at Crafty Carol's Cards, and it will have all the measurements on it in inches and in centimetres. And have a go at this, because I think it must be really, it's really good fun to make and so simple. Okay, bye for now then.